Hello everyone, welcome to the another video on Power Platform. So today we are going to talk about Copilot and Power Automate desktop integration part. So recently I have explored the Copilot Studio have a lot of integration options to integrate with our Power Automate desktop, but I feel like there is a no proper document how to consume those options. Okay, I initially faced a lot of issues. I will explain what are the issues I have failed. I have faced during the integration. Power Automate desktop from Copilot. Okay, so my use case is I have the Contoso application. So this is my VM. It is showing reconnecting. Just a minute. Okay, perfect. So this is the my use case. Okay, so where I have maybe I will run this flow. This is opening the Contoso Invoice app, and whatever the query we sending from the Copilot Studio, it will pass to the Power Automate desktop. Then it will extract all the information from the invoice table, and using the chat GPT action, it will give some sort of answers for your Copilot query. Okay, I will run this flow. So it is opening the Contoso app and it is extracting the all the data table. Okay, so I mean we didn't include the input query. That's what it is showing. Just a minute. Okay, this is fine. What we will do first, we will give some value for the input query. Okay, so what we will do, default value is what is the invoice status for 1001. Okay, so this is my query. Just assume this is the query I'm just passing from my Copilot. Okay, I will run this now, and before that I will close the Contoso app. Perfect, I run the flow. So this is super easy, so I'm not going to create this flow from scratch. You just, if you look at the code, you will understand all this actions easily. Okay, so we already passed in the input query. So what is the invoice status of 1001, right? So with the GPT action, we passing the data grid to the GPT and also this query. So GPT will responded back which is relevant to our query. So I asked what is the status. So it is showing the invoice status for the number 101 is paid. Okay, so this is perfect. So the ideology is we going to create the Copilot Studio agent where it will interact with our on-prem app. So based on our query, it will respond back our the relevant answer. Okay, related to the invoices. Okay, if you look at this, the GPT action is very simple. So I instruction is analyze the below invoice data and provide the answer for the query. The query is the input query here, and the out. I mean the JSON. Sorry, the table, the overall invoice table, I included here for the GPT reference. Okay, this is fine. Now I'm going to build the Copilot agent right now for this. Okay, so let's go with and click the create and click on the new agent. So this is the invoice tracker I want to create. Okay, so the invoice tracker connect with the on-premise invoice application Contoso to provide updates on invoice status. Okay, it ensures the accuracy and timely information and respond to the queries efficiently. And also I'm giving some instruction as well. Okay, and instruction. Okay, I click create. Now it is creating our agent. Okay, this is fine. I want, okay, it is suggesting invoice tracker for this agent. Okay, yeah, looks fine. So now it is becoming invoice tracker. Okay, so I already have the tracker agent. So change invoice tracker one name into invoice assistant. Okay. Okay, perfect. So now our invoice assistant agent is ready. So initial setup, everything is ready. Now we are going to add the topic. Okay. So I'm not going to, create this as a autonomous agent because there are still lot of limitations we have for the Power Automate Desktop invoke options. Okay, but I will explain what are the limitations here. Okay, so if you go to the action, if you want, your agent to autonomously interact with your desktop flow, so we have a action called run a flow with Power Automate for desktop. Okay, I click on that. This is very recently introduced. I mean, based on my understanding, I have tried with a different option. For me, it is not working. I don't find any relevant document, for this consumption as well. Okay, so it is okay. And if you look at this, there are a lot of connections, the existing connection there. So I'm going with the same connections here. Okay, so I click next. So this is the part I'm struggling still. So the authentication is still fine. I will go with the Copilot author authentication, or even authentication also fine. And the input is we need to give. I want to go with the set as a value because I don't want to give our flow dynamically. So I'm going to choose the value, but it is not showing the existing flows whatever I have in my environment. EAP developer environment, I don't see any kind of drop down which will list out all our desktop flow values. Okay, even I tried to bind my name, I mean my flow name. For example, I tried in this way. If you go to the general, I tried on Contoso process, and run mode is something works correctly. Like, okay, so if you look at this, I change the value into the dynamic into static, so we have the drop down. So I am expected something like this for even picking the desktop flow as well, but it is not showing. That is okay, but I have filled the flow manually. But when I click add action, it is showing error. Okay, I don't know. I mean, exact, maybe method how to add this. But when I checked in the code editor, it is showing UI flow ID, which means maybe this connector is expecting flow ID of my desktop flow. I'm not sure, but I tried that option as well. So I copied the flow ID and I tried this. Okay. So I tried this and I click add action. Still, I know it is throwing error only. So if you look at the error, it is showing somewhere internal error 500 and something related to the connections as well. If you look at this user UI flow, Azure relay connection records run owner for sharing. So the message is the desktop flow connection can be shared only if the run owner parameter is filled. For please fill this advancement parameter. Okay, so what I am going to do, I am just copy pasting this error message into the Google. So Microsoft is suggesting to create kind of app, in the Power Platform user area. Then again, there are a lot of steps involved in that. Okay, but still, even I went through this complete guide. Still, I'm not able to crack this information. It is bit complicated for me. Okay, So I tried with creating the application, new application in where it is. So they have suggested to create an application from the Power Platform admin. I did that. Then I have included environment maker role to the application user. That also I did. Then the share data was stable. This is something, I mean, I shared all these connections with my, my um, user name. Then this is the part we are struggling again. Okay, so it is showing we have to add some connectivity for making the connections. So I went through that, but I'm not able to do it this properly. So I go with the other mechanism to consume my flow, I mean desktop flow through the cloud. Okay, so what I did in the topic, I create the new topic here. Maybe let's keep very simple. From blank, edit invoice tracker. See, even I am clicking this plus symbol, it is not focusing. Okay, so this is another issue. So I clicked tab, then I pressed enter. Now it got added. I am going to add one more thing. It is okay. Now it is, see, even here also the I have an option to edit. Okay, this is fine. I think it is not an issue. So include in multiple topic matches. That's fine. So whenever I type invoice in my agent, it should come to this topic where I need to interact with my desktop flow for my query, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to add an action and create a new Power Automate flow. Okay. So the ideology is we are going to create the cloud flow. From cloud flow, we are invoking desktop flow. Okay. So this is the second method. So first we tried from action, direct action. Now we are trying from the topic. Okay. So here what we'll do, just rename this into Contoso Application Invoker. Okay. Let's keep this name and go to the desktop flow and click on the run a flow build with Power Automate for desktop. Okay. Then let's pick our Contoso process here and run mode is attended. That is fine. So what is the status of invoice 103 and who is the customer? Okay. So this is the input query I'm going to pass to my Power Automate. Okay, so this is okay. I'll click save draft and I'm going to publish this. Then only we can see this Contoso application invoker cloud flow in my agent. Okay, error mode is required. I choose error mode but run mode, but I'm not sure. Okay, I'll going to save this again. Let's publish this. Okay, so let's go back to the topic and I click done here. Now it will refresh and it will show our recently created Power Automate Cloud Flow as well. Okay, so Contoso application invoker, this is fine. I'm going to click save right now. Topic, maybe I will keep invoice tracker. Come on, yes. So if we go in this route also, it is not working. Okay, so I'm just trying to show that as well. So I'm typing invoice. It is trying to invoke the Contoso application invoker. If you look at this, it is showing additional permissions are required to run this action. To proceed, please select and connect and review any missing connections, right? I click connect. Okay, so if you look at this, it is showing my cloud flow and used by one action, that is fine. And if you click connect, it is showing the all the connections whatever we are using the Contoso application invoker. So in the cloud flow, we are using only the desktop flow. If I want to switch the account, that also fine, you can do it. But the problem is when I click the connect, right, it is automatically picking the connection, but it is showing the green tick. So what I think, okay, it is got connected, right? So with that assumption, I'm clicking submit button here. Okay, it is showing connected now. Okay, so previously I used to connect, show get disconnected only, but this time it's working the magic way, but it's okay. So if it is working fine, so let's refresh this and we will go and retry this. Okay, now it is trying to invoke my desktop flow, but don't accept, guys. So this is not working all time in the same way. Sometimes it is showing keep not connected only. Okay, here it is always shows not connected, not connected, even I do the multiple refresh. Then sometimes if I click the manage connections, it will the page got crashed. So it is still showing processing, that's okay. We'll go and check in the cloud flow what is going on. It is showing running, seems like it is finished. Let's go back and check the cloud flow. If you look at this, it is showing some outputs. Invoice status 1001 is paid. That is fine. This is for, I think, old one. Don't save. Let's close this and go and check. Okay. So the problem is I added the display, message in that, Contoso process. What I will do a little bit change the code here. So whenever you interact with the GPT action, we should, the next action should be, display message to validate the response. Okay. So that is what I included this display message, but it is blocking the overall functionality right now. So I'm just closing this automatically. Okay. This is fine. I just click save. Let's go back to the flow. It got timeout. That is fine. We will rerun this again. Okay, so let's go back to the flow. Okay, I think we are good here. Maybe one more time I save this and close this flow. Okay, I think we are good now. Let's go back to the agent. Let's type invoice. This time I don't think it will show connect or retry. So directly it will interact with the with the application desktop flow, and we will get that response back. But we have not included any input output in the Contoso application worker. That we will do it, after this successful run of the cloud, cloud flow. It is showing running. That is fine. Is it still running? It is showing succeed. So we hard coded the query here. The query is what is the status of invoice 1003, who is a customer, right? So it is responded back. The status of invoice 1003 is paid. The customer is Proswar INC, and the contact email also it mentioned. Okay, this is perfect. So we will do the little bit tweak in the cloud flow right now. So what we will do, we will add some parameter here. Okay, so let's keep this as a input query which we require from Copilot agent. Okay, so let's keep this, and in the responded response we will send back uh, invoice status. So where we will get this, we will get this in output response, what it is. Maybe let's keep this as a body, and but we will double check that. Okay. Okay, so we kept this as an invoice status and we included the body, but we will double check this. Let's go back, click save draft. Let's go back the previous run and see where we will get the invoice status. Okay, so in the previous run, it is showing where it is showing. Come on. So it is showing, no, not this. Okay, here we have to check. So in the output window, okay, this is the output response. Okay, we want from this body. Okay, so let's go and edit this flow output response. Let's remove this and take the output response variable from desktop flow action. This is the in variable I want to pass to my Copilot agent. Okay, so enter the description of the output. So let's keep like this. This is the status. Maybe this is the response for the user query on the invoice status. Let's keep that info and publish this. Let's go back to the agent. Now we will do the refresh. Now we will get the input and output variable for this actions. Okay. Last bot response. Last message ID and last message text. Let's keep this last message text, and invoice status is fine, and we will embed that invoice status in the message. Let's take the invoice status here. Okay, this is perfect. Okay, I will do the refresh. Let's remove this. Let's remove this. Save. Now we will start our test. Okay, so let's refresh this and type invoice, and we will go and see the flow here. I think we have to change here as well. We need to replace the text with this variable input query and save draft, publish. Still it is publishing. So once that is done, whatever the input we are getting, from the user, the agent, that agent will pass that input query to this Power Automate data flow. Then response again, it will send back to the Copilot. How long it will take to publish? Come on, publishing. Not sure, it is taking more time. Let's edit this and let's go and check one more time whether it is got published correctly or not. Input query. Okay, it seems published correctly, and I will do little bit refresh here. This is fine, and I will do refresh here also. Now let's type this invoice. Retry. Okay, I will do the connect now. Still it is showing still, that's okay. Now it, I think it is showing connected. Okay, perfect. So let's refresh this again. What is the status of 105 and who is the customer? Okay, I will type this. Okay, first we will type this. Action. Okay, so ask a question. Do you have any specific query to check in Contoso Invoice app? If yes, type your queries. Okay, this is fine. I will keep this as simple only. Now let's go and take this as a string. Okay, no entity extraction, saved as is. Okay, so you can keep that, and here you can change this as a input query. Okay, and click save. Now we need to pass this input query to these actions. Okay, let's do that. Now let's change I'm not sure. I changed into the input query, but it is seems like not added. I will input query. I will rename that variable again. Okay, now we got the input query. Let's replace that with last message. Okay, this is fine now, and let's click save. And now we will go ahead and test this flow. Okay, our agent is ready, and I'm going to ask first. Let's trigger the topic. Do you have any specific query to check in Contoso Invoice app? If yes, type your query. Okay, so now let's ask what is the status of invoice 1008 and who is the customer. Okay, now it is triggering our desktop flow in the backend. It is showing running. It's fine. So once that is done, we will get our response here. Okay, just now it seems now we got that response. The status of invoice is 1008 is paid and the customer is Tailspin Toys. Okay, perfect. So this is the another way you can invoke your desktop flow, but it is not direct integration. But still, we can use the cloud flow from cloud. You can invoke your desktop flow. This is the one options. Sometimes maybe if you get any error in this manager connection panel, if the status is showing keep not connected, that time you may be think of this workaround as well. So in the Contoso application and worker, let's assume this connected is not working, then you can go and edit and replace this trigger with HTTP trigger like this. Okay, so the HTTP. So when the HTTP trigger is received, right? Hope you guys know that. So you can use that trigger and remove this and respond to the Copilot. Also, you can remove this and you can add the response to the HTTP, right? That you can add. Again, you can pass a similar parameters and you can send back the similar parameters to the Copilot agent as well. And how you can integrate that? So once that is ready, I mean, you can get some URL, right? From the URL, you can go ahead to the advanced tab where you can leverage the send HTTP request. Okay, this is the another workaround. If this connects, if you guys facing any connections issue. Okay, I hope this video is insightful for the everyone. We will catch up with another video again, and please consider to subscribe my channel if it is informative to you. Thank you so much, guys. Bye.